The skill we're working on today is something called monitor and clarify. Monitor and clarify is basically when you are paying attention to your reading and asking yourself or recognizing when something doesn't make sense, and you try to understand things a little better because they don't make sense. So, how can you monitor and clarify when you're reading? Well, if you come across something and it doesn't make sense, you go back and you reread it. You reread the part of the story that you didn't understand. Maybe you just misread a word or two, and that's why it didn't make sense. You can connect to the story. We talk about connections. What does it remind you of? Something in your life, something in the world, something that you've already read. So you can connect to your story to help you make better sense of it. You can ask questions. What do you not understand? What was the photograph mostly about? What did the main character say that? And then you can look for visual cues. So we talk about text features. These can be headings or captions to photographs, pictures or diagrams, or any type of special words that they use. So that is monitoring and clarifying, going back and rereading or finding out information that you didn't quite understand in what you read or what you listened to. Let's jump to our story, and our story is titled, Have You Heard the Nesting Bird? And this is a narrative nonfiction. Remember, nonfiction is not made up. It is real. Narrative nonfiction is going to give you information, but it's going to sound like a story. Here's what you can look for. You can look for information about something that's real. You can look for words that describe sounds and things. And you're going to look for a setting that is real. Now remember, monitor and clarify. So as we're reading, you're going to stop and think if you don't understand something. Go back and reread it. Look at your pictures. Use what you already know. And then ask yourself questions to try to help figure it out. So here's our illustrator of Have You Heard the Nesting Bird. Remember, an illustrator is a person that does the artwork or the drawings in the book.
Kennard Pack studied art in college and has worked as an artist for many years, creating illustrations for animated movies. Now he enjoys making picture books. He has illustrated many books, including one that he wrote himself called Goodbye Summer, Hello Autumn. Mr. Pack lives in San Francisco with his wife and 3 cats.
Have you heard the nesting bird?
Morning doves take their morning stroll. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Woodpecker calls from a tree with a hole. Cook-cook-cook-cook. Starling sings from a metal pole. Whistle-ee, wee tree.
So as I read, I'm going to pause when I don't understand something. The story tells about different birds and what they're doing. It says a woodpecker calls from a tree with a hole. I can try different things to help me understand this sentence, like asking a question or rereading the story, looking for clues in the pictures, and thinking about what I already know.
But have you heard the nesting bird? What bird? Where? That robin nesting up there.
Okay, so who is talking on this page? A boy and a girl. How did I know that? Well, the story shows the words in these little marks right here called quotation marks. And the picture shows a boy and a girl looking up at that bird.
Sparrow makes a simple jingle. Chittick, chittick, swallow slides from under a shingle. Ha-ha, chit-chit-chit, ha-ha, twitter-twit.
So is there something on this page that you do not understand? Maybe you don't understand what the swallow is doing. And what does a shingle mean? That's a word we talked about the other day, a shingle. We can go back to what we talked about the other day, shingle, and remember that a shingle is the square piece that's on a roof.
Crow calls out, "Come meet and mingle." Caw, caw, caw.
Have you ever heard a crow's call? What did it sound like? Caw, caw. It tells us that right here.
Caw. But have you heard the nesting bird? Not a single tweet or trill. This nesting bird is so still.
So how is the nesting bird different from the other birds? Well, she does not move or make sounds.
Cardinal wears a pointy hat. Cheer, 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 purdy, purdy, purdy. Chickadee is an acrobat. Chick-a-dee-dee-dee. Catbird sounds like a hungry cat. Meow, meow. But have you heard the nesting bird? It doesn't sing, not even a bit. All it does is sit and sit. Blue Jay's shriek is as sharp as a drill. Jay, 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 Jay. Whippoorwill has his favorite trill. Whippoorwill, whippoorwill. Wood thrush turns the twilight still. E-ole, e-ole. But have you...
What does the author want you to learn from this? I think he wants us to learn that the nesting bird is different from the other birds because it does not sing.
heard the nesting bird? It hasn't sung a single song. This bird has been sitting for so long.
So why do you think that the children keep wondering about the nesting bird? I think that it's that the author wants us to wonder. Remember, that's a word we used the other day, wonder. We ask questions. The author wants to remind us of what the nesting bird does now because it will probably do something different at the end of the story.
Wait, what's that? Tapping, cracking. Something made a little sound. Breaking, shaking. The bird is starting to move around. Ruffling, shuffling.
So what's the nesting bird doing? She looks like she's about to fly. And the sound words on this page are different from the ones on the previous pages. So what can I do to make sure I understand? I can ask myself a question. Think about what I know and look at the picture and reread it. I ask myself, do those words describe the sounds a robin makes? I can reread the page. Those words describe the sounds coming from the robin's nest, not the sounds a robin makes.
The bird flew off with something blue. Cheeping, peeping. Look, another robin is coming too. The baby birds are here.
All right. So what did you do when you came to a part of the story that you didn't understand? What did you do to try to figure it out? And let me ask you a question about our story. Why do you think the nesting bird sat for so long? I want you to tell somebody your answer to that question.